In that fourth round where they decided to coast a bit, but outside of that, they've been well entertained.
I think if you like fine boxing, you like to see a guy use his head on defense and still come hammering ahead on offense, you got to give this thing overall just the feeling of it to Michael Nunn. If you like those guys that just work and work and work and won't give up, you got to think that maybe Frankie Liles kept his championship. I don't. I'm one of the ones that thinks Michael Nunn has won his fight. But it's not over.
It's one of those things on Frankie Liles, who seems to be losing energy by the second here. In the last minute, you try to throw caution to the wind and go in for the knockout, hoping to win, but you can't catch Nunn.
No, and sometimes you get caught.
And Nunn is going to put a punctuation mark on the 12th round anyway.
He is not going to leave any doubt here.
Judges, Bob Watson, Oscar Perez, Gonzalo Oliveras. From Venezuela, the other two from the U.S. will have the cards in their hands, and they'll make the decision on this fight tonight. And look, he gamely trying to fight out.
Look at that. 4 moves of the head, and he avoided 4 punches. Out comes the mouthpiece of Frankie Liles. He is an exhausted man. Frankie Liles is tired.
And there's the bell to end it. Nunn believes he's won it. Liles believes he's retained. And you can see them standing on their feet in the background here in Ecuador. They have certainly appreciated their first ever World Championship fight here in Ecuador. Liles again looked as if he started to ebb a bit, particularly around the 6th or 7th round. Maybe the low blows with a 1-point deduction certainly was a situation that Nunn getting the 1-point deduction, and Liles clearly started to slow down a bit there, and Nunn started to pick up. You saw him have that outburst in the 7th round when he thought that he caught a low blow. Maybe that was when the adrenaline really started to kick in. They exchange rounds up until particularly the 10th round, and in my book, that's where Michael Nunn, if he indeed wins this fight tonight, will have won his 3rd world title. Liles gamely fighting on in the last 2 rounds, but just unable to catch up with a great defensive fighter in Michael Nunn, who is trying to go to 44-2. In the 12th round, again, Nunn. Look how he came out at Liles. He catches him with a combination. Liles just arm punching right now. And Nunn with that great defensive skill, stepping away from everything Liles had to throw here in the 12th round. That was early on. At the end of the round, you see Nunn coming at him again. Good left hook to the head. Came right up the middle. Liles will gamely try to throw some punches, but the end was near in the 12th. And you saw the punctuation mark put on by Michael Nunn in the 12th round. And a former middleweight champion moving up to the super middleweight after he lost that title that he had won from Frank Tate. In the super middleweight, defeated Victor Cordoba. Defeated him in a rematch, quite convincingly, I might add, after a controversial victory to get the title. And then finally coming up and losing that title, which he may have come up and regained as he lost to Steve Little, who Liles beat for the title. And you can see them anxiously awaiting the decision in the ring. And Jimmy Lennon will have it for us in just a moment. It'll be interesting to see what the reaction of the crowd will be, plus or minus, for the 2 fighters. Coming up as this ring will be cleared and then will be refilled, and I mean filled with all kinds of dignitaries. Our main event coming up on Showtime. It'll be the IBF vacant middleweight championship of the world. And the 2 combatants stepping in is Bernard Hopkins of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the hometown favorite from Quito, Ecuador, Segundo Mercado. Mercado again, hailed as one of the outstanding young middleweights to come up, 18-2. But has he had the fights to match that of Hopkins? We'll find out on our main event tonight, coming up in just a few moments on Showtime. Well, they've tallied the cards. The 3 judges have put the numbers down. Does Liles retain the title, or is Michael Nunn the 3-time world champion? Let's head up to Jimmy Lennon for the decision.
Damas y caballeros, tras de 12 rounds, tenemos una decisión unánime. Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision. El juez Riveres tiene la pelea 115-112, 115-112. El juez Watson vio la pelea 117 a 111, 117 to 111. El juez Pérez vio la pelea 114 a 113, 114 to 113 a favor del ganador Frankie Liles.
Despite the fact it looked like he was wilting, has apparently put together enough in this fight at the discretion of the judges to retain his championship. And you heard the numbers: 3 points in one card, 6 in another, and a scant 1 point on the third card. But again, the championship has gone to Frankie Liles as he defends his title, and you see Michael Nunn almost in total disbelief here. His handler's trying to quieten him for the moment, and of course all the dignitaries gathering themselves in the ring. Well, gentlemen, we have seen a rather interesting situation here, and Ferdy will talk to the champion coming up in just a moment. Let's head back to New York and get the impression. Bruce, Bobby, quite a fight here.
Thank you, Sam. So Frankie Liles, a unanimous decision. Bobby, your thoughts?
Well, I had him working and outworking Michael Nunn throughout the whole early parts of the fight. I really had him ahead by as many as 5 points at one time, but Michael closed the gap. I wound up having it 6 rounds to 6, but the 1 point deduction, 115, 114, 1 point difference, I had Liles winning by a point because of the point taken.
So it goes back to that one low blow.
That's happened many times. We've seen it with Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank. We've seen it 1,000 times in other fights. You got to play by the rules.
So in your opinion, Nunn just was too far behind when he made that charge in 10, 11, and 12?
You know, I gave him a late charge, as I think you did, and it was just too far behind. You can't let that much slip away. And many times you'll find, especially south of the border, the judges like fighters who work.
All right, right now we're set to go back ringside to Quito. And here's Sam and Ferdy.
Thank you, gentlemen. They're starting to buzz about that decision. Still some conversation going on about it before our main event coming up. Let's get the impression of the man that's retained his title, Frankie Liles. Let's go upstairs to Ferdy Pacheco.
All right, Frankie, congratulations on what must be one of the toughest nights of your life.
Yeah, it was a tough bout. I got to give Michael Nunn a lot of credit. First of all, I got a couple of thank yous. I have to thank Mr. Vic in Cleveland and my family and friends in Syracuse, New York, for all their support. Because without everybody, I couldn't have done it. And Don King and Showtime.
Let me tell you, this was an extremely hard fight to judge. Extremely hard. I had the other guy winning, Bobby Ches in New York had you winning. Right. So here we are, 2 experts looking at it a different way. It was a very tough fight. Did it turn on the low blow, did you think? I mean, you know, that 1 point away?
No, not at all. You know, Mike was a lot tougher than what I anticipated. More than anything, I tried to out-hustle him because I couldn't get a lot of shots off. Mike is a very, very skilled fighter. I thought maybe the weight might have had a lot to do with his performance, but he gutted it out, and we had a tough fight. I'd like to do it again, to be honest.
Well, I think that's a fight that people would pay to see again because both of you are very even. We frankly didn't know whether the altitude was bothering you. Was it bothering you?
Yes, it was. I couldn't get my second win, so therefore I couldn't really get sharp. I kept sucking in the corner, but I did what I had to do. I gutted it out, and I wanted on hustling. I got to take my hand off the mic and give him a kiss. All right, Mike.
All right, Michael, I just finished saying to him I had you ahead. Bobby Ches had Frankie ahead. That's how close this fight was. 2 people in 2 different cities looking at it different. Did the altitude bother you?
No, the altitude didn't bother me. I tried to pick it up in the last couple rounds because, you know, I knew the fight was close. So, but the last round I tried to pick it up and let it go. You know, I think I hurt him toward the end of the fight. So I figured I'd done enough to win the fight. But unfortunately, I didn't.
Well, this is the first time I've seen you attack the body with such
what
force.
I was hitting him to the body. They kept saying I was hitting him low. So then I kind of like tried to lay off because after they took 1 point without giving me a warning, I'm like, well, I don't want to keep hitting him in the body or whatever. And they said I'm hitting him low. And they
I don't want to be the one who punches a needle in your balloon, but they warned you 3 times.
Well, I know I was hitting him good to the body, but all the shots I was hitting him to the body, I know they wasn't low.
I love you, but 3 times, you know. All right. Did those body blows take a lot out of you?
No, like I said, it was tough for me to get my second win. But like I said, I got to take off my hat to Michael Nunn and give him a whole lot of credit. Because Mike's a great champion, and I did what I had to do. I'm very, very happy. I'm happy with the people that I have working with me. Jack O'Halloran and his wife, Freddie Roach, Ruben, and Mr. Spada. Well, they did a great job in the corner.
All right, the super middleweights are really heating up now. How would you like to go? Where would you like to go?
Roy Jones and I have a score to settle. You know, it's a story behind it. I lost to Roy. I was a world champion going to the Olympic trials. I lost to him in a controversial 3-2 split decision. I think it was because of Ray Leonard. I like to fight Roy Jones and then bring Ray Leonard out of retirement and get him too.
All right, and there's no one here that thinks that you're out of boxing because you gave a tremendous performance and you added something you've never